Hello everyone. In this module, we are going to learn how to create contour plot in Matplotlib. And the following are the topics that we are going to discuss. Firstly, we will learn what is contour plot. After that, we will see the formation of it. Then we will discuss some applications regarding this. And in last, we will see the syntax and examples of contour plot. So let's begin. A contour plot is a graphical method for expressing a three-dimensional surface on two-dimensional plane by drawing constant z slices known as contour. We can say that it is a plot that plots two predictor variables x and y on y-axis and a response variable z as a contour. In other word, you can say that it is a alternative to 3D surface plot. And sometimes the contour plots are also known as a level plot, and these contour are termed as z slices or iso response values. So the contour plot is made up of the following things. The first one is vertical axis. It represents independent variable. The another one is a horizontal axis. It represents other independent variable. And the last one is lines. It is iso response value which can be calculated using x and y. So the contour plot is used to show how z value change when compared to x and y values. And these plots are used in variety of disciplines such as cartography, where contour lines on a topological map indicates elevation. The next one is astrology. Other one is meteorology. The next one is it is used to visualize electric potential also, and you can use it to show brightness also, and even it represent the density. And to represent altitude such as height of a geographical objects, you can use the contour plots. So let's see the syntax. In Matplotlib, to plot a contour lines, we use the contour function. And if we want to plot a filled contour lines, we use the contour f function. And the syntax of a contour function is matplotlib.pyplot.contour, and in parentheses we pass different parameters x, y, z and colors also. And for the contour f function, we have syntax as matplotlib.pyplot.contourf, and we have same parameters x, y, z and color. So I will explain you what these parameters mean. The x and y is a coordinate values in z, and the x and y must be both 2D with the same shape as z. So the next one is z. It is the height over which contour is drawn. And the last one is color, and it is the color of a contour lines. So let's see some examples related to this to clear our concept. So here is the simple code to create a contour plot. Firstly, I import libraries. The first one is NumPy as NP. The next one is Matplotlib PyPlot as PLT. After that, I define data coordinates. For this, I use linespace function of a NumPy. Then I generate a combination of a coordinates by using mashgrid function. So I use np.mashgrid function and I pass above defined data coordinates x and y and assign variable capital X and Y to it. Then I define a contour function and I assign variable z to it, and I use sine function and the cos function of numpy to calculate it. Then I call the contour function to plot a contour plot, and I pass capital X, Y and Z variable to it. And in last I call the show function to display the plot. Now I execute this code and here is the output. By default, it represents in a rectangular plot. So here I doesn't add any labels and title. If you want, you can. So let's see one more example. Here I import libraries. After that, I define coordinates by using line space function of a NumPy module. Then I again generate combination of a coordinate by using a mash grid function. And after that, I define a counter using a sine and the cos function of a NumPy module. And in last, I call the counter function and I pass x, y, z variable to it. And additionally, I pass parameter colors to it and set color to coral. And in last I display the plot by calling the show function. Now I execute this code and you can see that the color of the counter lines changed to coral. So let's see one more example. So here I define coordinates by using line space function again. Then I again generate a combination of a coordinate using a mash grid function. After that I use the sine and the cos function to generate a z value. Then I call the contour function and pass xyz variable to it, and then I pass a additional parameter color, but in this case I assign a list of color to it which set different color for each line. And in last I call the show function. Now I execute this code and you can see that each contour line has different color as per the list. The first one is green, the next is red, then the blue, magenta, yellow, and dark blue. So let's see one more example. In this example, we will learn to create a field counter. So firstly, I import necessary libraries, NumPy as NP and Matplotlib, PyPlot as PLT. Now I define data coordinates using a arrange function of NumPy module. Then I again generate a combination of a coordinate by using the mash grid function and I pass the above defined x and y coordinates to it. Then I generate a z value by using the sine function and the cos function and I pass the generated capital X and y value to it as an angle. Then I call the counter f function as I want to field counter. So in this I pass capital X, Y, Z variable to it to create the field counter plot. And in last I call the show function to display the graph. Now I execute this code and you can see that these counter lines are filled with colors. So if I replace this counter f function with counter function by removing the f and execute this code, you can see that these counter lines are unfilled, and if I pass f again to it, the counter lines are filled with color. So with this we have learned to create contour plots in Matplotlib, and in the next module we will learn to plot dates in Matplotlib.